see you lost inside your circumstance, and I see you looking for a chance to dance, and it seems to me the world's a better place because of you. You were made to shine just like the stars above, and I know you are made for love and to be loved, and it seems to me the world's a better place because of you. Oh, why do we see one another and compare our lives together, thinking that the greener grass is anywhere but here? Shine, shine, set your eyes on things above now. Shine, shine, you are someone made for love now. Shine, shine, join in the applause of love and shine. Ain't it grand? Life is so worth celebrating. Hand in hand, live a life worth imitating. Sing along, the world's a better place because of you. Oh, why do we see one another and compare?
Hey, it's great to be here with my friend and fellow Texan, W.
That's right.
W, it's great to see you. Hey, this is John Morgan, my new friend, and I am so glad to meet him because he does the most incredible imitation of one of the great men in the world, which of course is George W. Bush, our fellow Texan, and it's a pleasure to see him. Now, I happen to know George Bush, the George Bush, a little bit, and this guy is spooky good. I'm telling you. And so what I'm saying to you is, this man not only looks like Bush, he talks like Bush, he acts like Bush, but more than that, I just heard him speak, and as he shared his entertainment, shared the fun and the jokes and all that, he looks like Jesus to me. He is a man who loves Christ, who wants to share his faith, and is doing it in the most unique way. Just here with a group of men. Men loved it. We can't wait to get him over to Prestonwood Church in Dallas, and once again, bring W back home.
Well, I'm the free world leader. Freedom's rolling out to you. Oh, let's roll. Well, I'm the good news instigator. Compassionate conversator. This freedom is rocking and rolling on out to you. White and blue. Welcome to the John Morgan Show. I'm your host, Frank McGillicuddy. It's great to be with you. I am so excited. Of course, I'm John Morgan. And what a show we have lined up for you today. It's going to be humorous. It's going to be insightful. It's going to be passionate. And best of all, you're going to be there. You know, yesterday I had left up the banner, Happy Labor Day, everyone. So, real quickly, during the show, I just retyped, Happy Day After Labor Day. So I thought, why not continue on a theme? So everybody, happy day after Labor Day. Bam! There's that yellow dress. Ooh. 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 Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the John Morgan Show. I'm your host, John Morgan, and it is an honor and a privilege to be with you on a hump day, Wednesday. And Kathy and I are excited because after dinner, we're going to have the privilege of going over to our friends Greg and Robin's house
for a bit of biblical fellowship and Bible study. We have at our church a thing called community groups where we break down, our church breaks down into a bunch of different groups that meet throughout the city so that people have a chance to have one-on-one fellowship with their friends, to just, well, greetings from Chattanooga. Diane, where are you, girl? Let me pull that over here. What is Chattanooga? What is Chattanooga? You're going to have to help me out with that one. Is that a real place, Diane? Is it? The problem is that silly delay that happens between when I talk and when you hear. Is it? Oops. There we go. Okay, so it's good to see you. Today I was nickname for Please don't tell me they have casinos in Chattanooga now. Do they have casinos in Chattanooga? Last time Kathy and I were there, the hottest thing going was the Choo Choo. Oh my goodness. Yes. Oh, hey, Meg, welcome. Greetings. Good to see you. And Kathy and I went into one of those old-timey, you could go in and they dressed you up in old-time clothing and took your picture, and you felt like you were right in the middle of a scene from Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. And but boy, that beautiful drive coming into Chattanooga is just spectacular. Kathy and I had an aunt and uncle that lived there, and her dad's brother, yes. And we would go and visit them, and it was kind of fun. Really, really a lot of fun earlier in our life. So I've been thinking about Friday, and Friday is our 100th show anniversary, and it's going to be a very special show. For one thing, we're going to be commemorating 9/11. For another thing, we're going to be debuting my new song, My Brother and Me. I'm so excited about it. So excited to share it with you. I'm not going to sing it. I'm just going to play it so you can hear it as it is on the recording. And then we've got a bit of trivia. We're going to have a contest just to make the show fun. I wanted to have a sense of celebration. And so let's see. I've got these different little sound effects. Woo! Yeah, that we're going to have on Friday for the 100th show. And so I was trying to think of some trivia, kind of a contest that we could have. And so I'd like to try you guys out, okay, on a couple of little trivia things and see if this idea would work. So what is it that's good to the last drop, if you can remember? And just put it in the thing, and it'll show up in 25 seconds. When you hear it, it'll be as though I said it. That's a kind of a freaky thing when you think about this. When you hear me say something, I actually said it about 20 seconds ago. So you're actually hearing in the past, in the future. Yeah, Mame, but what that? Well, Folgers. That's right. Folgers. Very good. Okay. Love it. Yes, Maxwell House had one, but I don't remember what it was. Yes. And then how about this one, Mark? A little dabble do ya. Your dad would know that one. I don't know if you will. That is a hair product from the 50s and 60s and maybe the 70s. I don't know. A little dabble do ya. I'll give you a hint. It rhymes with dill dream. Anybody? Brill cream. Yep, hair care product. Right. Brill cream. Well done, Diane. Yeah. So we might do some of that on Friday. It's going to be fun. And, I've been thinking about things like, isn't it amazing how you can hear just two notes of a song, and sometimes even just a drum rhythm, and you can know what song it refers to, because our memory banks are so amazing. The song has been rolling in my head this afternoon. Last Train to Clarksville. Can anybody tell me who the artist is? Last Train to Clarksville, and who sings it? If you know the artist. So that was a big song when I was growing up, back in the late '60s, maybe early '70s. I think late '60s probably. And it was a group of four guys, and they had their own TV shows. Yes, Mark. Yes, very good. The Monkees. Yep. And if I'm not mistaken, there was one of the Monkees had a name that was named the same name as a very famous pirate. Can anybody tell me? And they used to say he had a locker in the bottom of the ocean. Anybody? But this particular singer, and he sang Daydream Believer, Davy Jones. Yes, very good. Yep, Dave Jones. But Mickey Dolenz actually is the one that sang Last Train to Clarksville. And then there was Peter Tork or York that was the bass player, and I have no idea what the drummer's name was. If you know the drummer of the Monkees, you win a prize. But I love their record. I can still picture the cover of their record. And then, of course, there's a million Beatles songs that all you have to hear is the first few notes of the introduction, and it takes you right there, because our memories link to those songs, and they become significant in our lives, in our memories. And it's interesting how that works. Memory is tied to emotion. Mike Nesmith. Diane, you win a prize. I knew that. Mike Nesmith. As soon as you said his name, and wasn't he the one that always wore the Where's Waldo beanie? Mike Nesmith, yes. Very good, very good. And of course, everybody knows the name of the four Beatles. I actually have a friend who didn't know the name of any Beatles. Believe it or not, I mentioned, hey, Beth, welcome. We're just goofing around, having a little trivia, talking about memories. And I remember the first time I saw a Beatle album, it was the album Meet the Beatles. And they must have known they were going to be a smash in America, because Meet the Beatles was the name of their first album. And it had I Want to Hold Your Hand, and she was just 17 when I saw her standing there. You know, I kind of linked to that particular song, because when I met Kathy, and I've told you, of course, the story over and over again, when I met Kathy, my heart went boom, and I crossed that room. And she was older than 17, but it was quite a moment. And so whenever I hear that song, it reminds me of the moment that I met Kathy. And there are certain songs that link us to different events in our lives. And then there are also verses in the Bible that if you kind of grew up with the Bible as part of your history, they can trigger memories in much the same way. I have a Psalm 40, verses 1 and 2, is very special to me. It says that He drew me out of the miry clay, out of the muck, and set my feet upon a rock. He put a hymn of praise in my mouth, a hymn of praise to our God. Many will see and fear and give their praise to God. I don't remember exactly correct. But it's just amazing how memory works, isn't it? I mean, our memory, we're tied to people and places. Ooh, there's another Beatles song for you. There are places I remember all my life, though some have changed. Yeah? And those places have their moments with people and friends we still recall. Some are dead and some are living. In my life, I've loved them all. I love that. I just love this moment in our lives, doing this show and trying to make a difference, trying to have an impact in the lives of other people for the kingdom of God and for our country. And also having a great time in the process, having fun. I'll tell you, I've watched a little too much, I think, Fox Newsy type stuff and video type stuff. And, I could choose to be a little bit despairing over the potential future of our country if I was going to allow myself to make that choice. But because I have put that scripture in my verse to set your heart on things above, where Christ is seated at the right hand of God, not on things that are on the earth, then because of that, I won't allow the things that I've read and heard to cause me to despair or to cause me to fret, because I know that God is on the throne. I'll tell you, I was reading in Job today. Job, of all books. Like, for a whole lot of my Christian life, it's like, no, I don't ever want to, we think that if we get close to something, it'll happen to us, There's actually a scripture that says, the thing you fear will come upon you. That is a good enough reason to never fear, folks. And and the reason for that is actually it's kind of a universal truth. We draw to ourselves the things that we ponder and think about the most. And that's why I want to ponder and think about the Lord, His presence, heaven, His blessings. Man, I want to be blessed coming in. I want to be blessed going out. So I want to be generous in giving blessings to others because I want to be a joyful, blessed person. So here I'm reading Job. I mean, the poor guy. Whew. Do you all know that story? Okay, so Job's hanging out. He's like prospering. He's got all these sons and daughters and all this wealth. I mean, he's got sheep and goats and cattle and you just name it. He was very, very wealthy, but he was also very, very godly. And the devil came along and Jesus said, "Hey, devil, have you noticed my servant Job? There's no one on earth as humble, as righteous, as godly as he is." And the devil says, "Well, of course. Look at how you've blessed him. Look at how you've given everything to him. Take it all away, and he'll curse you to your face." So God gives the devil access to Job. And I mean, it ain't pretty. He loses everything. Ultimately, he becomes super sick with boils and ooze and pus and ugh. It's bad. And Job complains to God because he knows that the Bible says that if you live a wicked life, you'll draw, wickedness to you. You'll draw evil to you. But if you live a righteous, holy life, you'll be rewarded. And he's like, I'm not being rewarded. I'm being punished, but I've not done anything to be punished. So he complains to God through 36 or so chapters, and his friends are all saying, they're using the Bible to say, "Hey, Job, clearly you're a dirty dog, wicked sinner. You're a pony soldier," to use the words of Joe Biden. And Job just keeps denying it. He says, "No, there's nothing. I'm looking. There's nothing in my life that I've done to deserve this. God is picking on me." And then at the end of the book, God comes back and he talks to Job and he says, "Where were you when I laid out the foundations of the earth? Are you the one that directs the sun where to rise every morning? Did you create the storehouses for the snow? Did you tell the ocean where to stop its mighty banks? Do you watch over the dawn, the deer when it drops a doe?" Doe a deer. A John Deere. No. And in the end of this long dissertation by God telling Job, "Look, I'm God and you're not." Job repents and he says, "I'm sorry, God. I had no right. You have all the rights. And guess what? The test is over, and God winds up blessing Job more than he was to begin with. He winds up with more sons and daughters, and he winds up living another 140 years. 140 years. I don't know how old he was at the beginning, but it says the second half of his life was better than the first half of his life. So if he lives another 140 years and you do the math, the dude lived to be 280. So I really don't think he lived to be 280, so I don't know how that interprets out. And now I don't even remember why I brought it all up. Oh, that's very funny. But the point is, you can trust God. Even if he draws you through a test, the book of Hebrews says that he disciplines the child that he loves. And, you know, America right now is going through a chastening. America right now is going through some interesting times, are we not? And it could be real easy to despair and to say, well, who we've known ourselves to be as a country, as a free nation, is about to end. But I'm not going there. I'm not going to believe that. I'm not going to believe that for a minute. I believe that God has his hand on our country. And I believe 2 Chronicles 7:14 that says, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray. And people are praying like never before that the best man would win. That, in my opinion, is Donald Trump. That our freedoms would continue, and that those who would lead us down a path of socialism and communism and tyranny would be defeated. And I believe that'll happen. I believe that righteous, good, law-abiding, Constitution-interpreting judges will continue to be placed in our land to safeguard us from those who would do us harm. And so I'm keeping my eyes on heaven and on he who can make a big difference. There have been so many times in Israel's history when it looked like they were gone. But if the leader trusted God and asked God for wisdom and did what God said, God always did crazy miracles to defeat their enemies and free them. And so, you know, my brother Mark thinks that former Vice President Biden is the dude for the job, the man for the job. I believe it's Donald Trump, and I know that God knows. I know that God knows. And so I can pray, Lord, your kingdom come. Your will be done. And hopefully our future will have lots more awesome songs, lots more awesome stories. I'm reading a book right now, by the way. I'm reading it for the third time. Hey, Shelley, welcome. I hope you'll look it up. It's called Ishmael, and it has a sequel called Self-Raised. I'm not a big reader, but I never read the Harry Potter series. I never read the Left Behind series. I never even read Lord of the Rings. I waited for the movies. But this book was recommended to me, and I dove in it. And on the very first page, you're absolutely grabbed. And then they've got you for the rest of the book, and it's the most awesome story. And it illustrates good versus evil, and virtue versus selfish living, and what a difference. And it's epic, and it's so amazingly romantic, and the writer uses the most beautiful, picturesque language you can ever imagine, and it's epic. It's got adventure on the sea, adventure on the land. It's got kidnapping and espionage. It's got treachery. It's got murder and mayhem and tremendous romance. It's got loyalty and betrayal. I mean, this book, it may be the best book outside of the Bible, the best novel ever written, Ishmael. It's by a lady named Eden Southworth. And the Eden is an E.D.E.N. So she's got this like really long name, but you can look it up under Eden. And it may even be out of print. But if you're interested in getting a copy, I'll hook you up with the publisher where I got my copy, and you can avail yourself to it. They're two good-sized books, but once you start, you'll finish it because they're really, really great. Well, folks, that's it for today. Just chit-chat and hanging around. I love you. Tomorrow will not be the day after Labor Day show. It will be the day before the 100th episode show. So I hope to see you all tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. for 14 minutes of prayer from 2 Chronicles 7:14, and then tomorrow afternoon at 5 for the John Morgan Show. Love you, like you, can't wait to see you again. God bless you, and God bless America.
Hey, this is Al Robertson from Duck Dynasty and Duck Commander. I want to tell you about a great book called War on Fear from my good buddy, John Morgan. Of course, he looks like George W. Bush, who had the famous War on Terror, so I immediately knew, there was a nice a bit of wordplay there. This book is fantastic. I think it speaks to sort of that natural fear that all of us have, whether it's public speaking or whether it's the first time you get asked to do something you've never done before, up to, the fear of loss of life, of a sick person in your family, all the things that we face every single day. I recommend this highly. I promise you will be blessed when you read this book, and it's the sort of book that after you read it, you're going to want to pass that on to someone else, which to me are the best kind of books. So War on Fear, get yours as soon as you can.
Thanks, everybody.
Well, I'm the free world leader. Freedom's rolling out to you. Oh,
Let's roll.
Well, I'm the good news instigator, compassionate conversator. This freedom is rocking and rolling on after you. White and blue.
Well, it's raining outside. And so I thought, rather than a brick comedy routine background, I'd feel better about life if I could be at the beach. So I put up the background you see. And now I'm back at the beach. Ah, yes. So break the willing suspension of disbelief. You want the bricks back? Okay. Thank you for tuning into the John Morgan Show. I'm your host, John Morgan. About to go eat some awesome dinner. Appreciate you so much. Thank you for tuning in. Please remember, keep your eyes on the prize. He lives in the skies, Jesus Christ. Bam. Thank you for watching. Yeah.